Paul, hello to you.
Thanks, Dan, and it's kick-off time already.
So we're on our way. Enjoy the final match before the season starts, and it starts terribly for Manly. Ruben Garrick, too much on that one, and it'll be the Tigers to go on the attack.
Not just the fans that are pumped up here at Leichhardt Oval, maybe a little bit too much oomph for Ruben Garrick there and out on the full.
It was fascinating, the length of the warm-ups. Obviously, they're trying to get some miles in the legs. They were out there for a good 25, 30 minutes.
Yep. And some of these lower grade players we'll see later in the afternoon as well haven't played since 2019.
That's it. So here's James Tarmo, first hit up as a Tiger. And the Tigers here. Let's see what they have in attack. Joe Offahengawi, another new Tiger. Former Bronco, 6 years there. Jacob Little in the 9 role. Luke Brooks, Jock Madden. Now Dane Laurie's cut out pass. Norfoluma hangs onto it. Back it goes to James Roberts. And a sparkling tackle. Morgan Harper, the fullback. Tigers bubbling. There's Tarmo, just a settler here. The attack comes to the left once again. Luciano, they lure. Lovely palm off there, through the hands. Kepaoa almost there. Manly have one tackle to hang on. And it's Brooks. Coming down just shy of the try line. Oh, Norfoluma. And he gets rid of it. Twal. Offahengawi. They'll try again. And that from Tommy Talau, a meek way to win what was a very promising opening set.
Razzle-dazzle from the West Tigers. I thought James Roberts was in for sure in the right-hand corner, but Morgan Harper getting his shot at fullback with Tommy Trebojevic injured, and he did the business there, didn't he?
Sure did. Now, for the Tigers, there was a late change. Joey Leilua, a sore foot. Nothing to worry about in terms of round one, but the Tigers didn't want to risk him, so we won't see Joey today. That's why Tommy Talau is starting in the 14 jersey. It's Martin Tapau, recently turned 31. A Schuster, lovely pass. Gajewski cuts him wide open. So Manly looking good with their first use. And on the last play, Schuster and Cust. Little left foot dink, and it just does not set up. So interesting there that Cade Cust in the 9 jersey was the man who put the kick through.
Yeah, might see him take over some of the responsibility with Delhi Cherry Evans and Kieran Foran. Both are missing for this clash.
So plenty missing, Paul, from the Manly side in particular. The Trebojevic brothers not there. Of course, we know about Tom's injury. Foran, Cherry Evans. They're amongst the missing brigade.
Not wanting to take any more risks, Des Hasler, already losing his star fullback for possibly a month.
Now here's Little, loves to run. And it's Boyle up top and Curtis Sirenen down low. As Brooks sends it on to Luciano, they lure another strong run. KO Week stood his ground well, the young half. And now to Lau, up to the 10. And this is the final tackle. Brooks onto Madden. A cut-out pass. Again, not quite hitting its target, and Norfoluma has nowhere to go.
James Roberts was in a hole there, but Madden's pass just a little bit astray, and Norfoluma well wrapped up.
So Jock Madden, the number 6, gets the first crack at it for the Tigers. Adam Dewey has trained all off-season in that 6 role. He is suspended from round 1. We'll see him later. He'll wear number 16 today. But someone has to wear number 6 for the Tigers' opening round clash against the Raiders in a couple of Sundays. So now it's Cust going back into dummy half and to Powell, former Tiger. Josh Aloiai, we'll see him shortly. His first appearance in Manly colours.
Got a 6 more there for offside, I think.
So Manly now had to cross into Tigers territory. And that's Taniela Paseka. Big shoes to fill with Fanua Blake not there. And Harper down the middle. Again, Manly rolling. Cust makes 20 metres. And plenty of tackles here. Now Weeks. Oh, the attempt by Talau doesn't come off, but it does stop that attacking rate at least momentarily.
He really had to make that play, even though it just knocked it down, because it was 3-on-1 if he misses altogether. So Talau, probably a try-saving effort there.
Gee, it's an open affair, isn't it, in the warm conditions?
Just wonder, yeah, that heat is really having an impact. Grant Atkins giving a big 10 metres, and we're going to see some points, I reckon, as this game goes on.
Speaking of refs, wasn't it unusual to see the badge, Gavin Badger, in Tigers apparel going through the drills there? He's part of the Tigers staff this year.
Yep.
Schuster onto Harper. Normally a centre. Gets the crack at the number 1 role. And the late offload. That's lovely. Schuster. Put down by Garner. Manly asking some questions here. And now off a flat-footed start, Paseka. And the Tigers holding on there. Ref giving a little leeway to Powell. Gee, bounced off a Hengawi there. Here's Cust. On to Schuster. Schuster the dummy. Garner not falling for it. That's Gajewski now. Oh, that went wrong. That went horribly wrong as Paseka had cannoned off his chest, and now Norfoluma exploring. Going to his opposite side and runs into another former Tiger, Moses Sully.
Paseka there, he was only supposed to be a decoy, and just a little bit of, I guess, getting the rust out here in this trial game for Manly.
We've seen 14 teams go around this weekend. These are the last 2. There's a crusher tackle, so the Tigers will venture back into Manly territory.
Only the 1 trial for Manly. Of course, West Tigers did play against the Roosters out at Camden last week.
The crowd is continuing to pour here. This is sensational. I was at Cogra yesterday. There was a good 3,000 there, but this is a terrific atmosphere as Tall now. A quick play of the ball with Garner. Sending the Eagles defenders backpedaling now on the 20. Tall. Running Brooks. Now to Laurie. Out it goes to Lau. Great grass cutter there from Sully. Laurie, short side. Laurie, he does it on his own. And one of the new recruits makes a lovely statement. He's fullback today, and he gives the Tigers the first try.
And Dane Laurie, that's why they got him early. The West Tigers did that deal with Penrith, the swap with Paul Momirovski, and we see the silky skills. He really just is out of nothing. It never should have been able to be.
That was the last game before the finals.
And Adam Dewey, of course, you talked about out for round 1. It's just as likely Moses Mbai could play 6, and Dane Laurie could start in the game in 2 weeks' time.
That's true, Paul, and even Mbai no certainty to be fit for that opening round clash. So it's a big day for a few of these players. Dane Laurie, one of them. You expect he's going to get a fair bit of first grade this year, but he might get a hell of a lot of first grade.
Yeah, he has some goal-kicking ability too, as does Jock Madden, but it looks like it's Luke Brooks actually lining up with this conversion. So they're really going through, giving everybody a shot. The West Tigers probably one of the worst teams, to be fair, with the goal-kicking skills over the last few years. So I'd say it was a priority for Coach Michael Maguire in the off-season to get it right.
Never kicked in the NRL, Luke Brooks. The only other kicker of NRL experience in this lineup is James Roberts. A grand total of 1 from 2. So Brooks now guides it through. West's Tigers 6-0 leaders over Manly inside the first 10 minutes. Do get the feeling there might be some points here this afternoon.
Yeah, possession will be key in this heat. The more you can control who holds the ball, the more likely it is that you'll be able to put the points on the board. And they've got plenty of attacking ability. James Roberts, we already saw him go close once, and obviously Dane Laurie there. What a good try.
West Tigers only here at Leichhardt 3 times this year. This is about the norm. Their first NRL game will be round 5. A Sunday afternoon against North Queensland. Round 13, they play Penrith. Here we go. Here's Kepaoa. And round 16, what a game that's going to be. West Tigers South at Leichhardt. That'll be a sellout.
Wow.
Almost certainly in the second half of the season. So the Tigers, plenty of metres here. And now Roberts with room. And he escapes from Parker. Now Norfoluma. Well, he ran into his own player but kept it alive. There's Madden to Tamo. This is good stuff from the West Tigers. There's now Little bouncing out. Brooks to Laurie. Laurie to Luciano Leilua. Back to Laurie. Trouble. Laurie. He's got a double. Oh, Dane Laurie. This is some start from him and some start from the Tigers.
Well, if the pencil was written in for number 1 for week 1 for the West Tigers, you might just change that to pen. Dane Laurie is carving up the Manly Warringah Seagulls here at Leichhardt Oval. His first game in West Tigers, or his second game West Tigers colours. He is really showing off his abilities.
And Luciano Leilua, isn't he causing Manly some problems? A terrific season last year, really established himself as a permanent second rower in this side. Played all 20 games. Lovely offload.
He's becoming one of their talisman out on the left edge. Ever since he's moved from the right side to the left, we've seen a big change in what he's been able to bring to the West Tigers team, and he's just going from strength to strength. He's obviously had a good off-season, and they can't handle him one-on-one at the moment, Manly.
Well, this is what fans want from trials, don't they? A, let's get through unscathed. That's the main thing. But B, some really exciting things to look forward to. And Dane Laurie's given these West Tigers fans something very exciting. So Brooks a little more difficult this time. And he drills it. So Adam Dewey is likely to be the regular kicker, given he's done plenty of it over the years. But Luke Brooks looks more than capable.
Yeah, Luke Brooks, it certainly opens up some options for the West Tigers if he's going to be the regular goal kicker. And where Adam Dewey ends up, he could even end up in the number 14 role as a bit of a utility.
So Garrett gets things underway again. A little breezy here at Leichhardt, quite relieving actually. It's still quite warm. It's Joe Offahen-Gowie first to hit it up. We are going to see a little bit of Tom McKaylee later. He's got a foot injury, but might get through a few minutes. Little, now Twal. What you'd expect from Twal, the workhorse. Little, in that number 9 crack ahead of Jake Simpkin. With Harry Grant, of course, departing as Brooks tucks in a lovely kick here, and it turned Harper inside out, and Brooks leading the chase. So the Tigers in their groove.
They've had all the ball the last 5 or 6 minutes, and Manly finally just get a chance to regroup and reset and see what they can do.
Well, the likes of Paseka and Tapau, took them a couple of tackles to get behind the play. There's already a few hands on knees. Oh, Jack Gajewski, remember, he had a huge line break in the opening couple of minutes, but ever since then it's been all one-way traffic. Schuster. That's got some angle on it. It's a terrific kick, and it's close to a 40-20. Certainly crossed the 20, no question.
Yeah, that's a really good kick by Josh Schuster. He's done some nice things early.
And it has been awarded. What a terrific kick. Man who played a game last year, Benji Marshall, said it was one of the best debuts he's ever seen. He was on the opposite side that day, but now the Eagles. Cust. Goes to Weeks and Sirinen against the grain. Off a Hengawi low. Tall up top. Back it comes to Cust. Now Paseka trying to barge his way to the line. He certainly got there, but he couldn't get it down.
He's been impressive, Paseka, with Josh Alloway coming over from the West Tigers. You might have thought he'd have to start from the bench, but here we are. He's actually in the starting lineup and making a strong case to be there in round one.
So again, it comes to the left side with Schuster. Lovely flat pass there for Gajewski. And there's 6 more coming here. So early pressure now for the Tigers to contend with after all that attack. To Powell. Made a beeline for Garner. Needed the help of Twall. Now, again, a little cumbersome as Paseka tries to step his way through. Comes to KO Weeks. That's a little wild, but no damage done. Harper. Oh, beautiful. In and away there from Tommy Talau, but then Luke Brooks with the driving tackle. So now Morgan Boyle just tucks it under the arm. So the Tigers have handled this pretty comfortably so far with a couple of tackles left. There's now Paseka to Schuster. Schuster to Harper. Harper running into Madden. Strong. Garrick put his hand up on the short side, but it's coming to the open as Schuster tries to land that right on the try line. It's put down. This could be a problem. It could be a try. It is a try. Might have been a question mark on whether the player was taken out there. But Manly, looks like KO Weeks is the man who has scored. But the replay will focus on the contest.
Looks like Tommy Talau caught there. He has played enough wing to normally handle that situation. I don't know if there was too much in it. Moses Sully, Grant Atkins was right there and he said, yes, it's a try. And KO Weeks, jolly on the spot, just had to pick the ball up and put it down.
No video, of course, today. So a nice quick decision there. And, well, Manly had to score next and they have. So KO Weeks, obviously in the Daly Cherry Evans role today. Highly regarded youngster. He part of the New South Wales under-18 side a couple of years ago. An opportunist try there. So the points are flowing here. We're going, once this kick goes through, at a point a minute. And Ruben Garrick, no problem for him. So 12 points to 6 now at Leichhardt Oval. Manly got a very testing start to their season. They take on the Roosters at the SCG Saturday 5:30. Of course, all these games live on Fox League and KO Sports. Then in round 2, the Bunnies. How good were they last night? Lottoland, the venue, another Saturday 5:30 game. Then the Dragons at Wynn Stadium. That's round 3. Round 4, the Panthers. Also at Brookvale, Lottoland on a Thursday night. So 3 of the guns in this competition will line up against Manly in the first month.
Yeah, no Tom Trbojevic for any of those games, so they could easily be 1 and 3 early on.
And a wretched record at Lottoland last year too. They'd want to rectify that. And it's Taniela Paseka. First to bring it back here. Unlimited interchange, of course, in these trial matches. We'll see a swathe of young talent come on later in this contest. And now Gajewski. Now that ball's come out and the referee comfortable. It wasn't forced out illegally. So now the Tigers back on the attack as Garner. Now was advantage played? Yes, it was. This is old-fashioned footy. We just get on with it.
No video ref, and seems like happy to play on there. And I think that's a fair call. It doesn't look like there was enough advantage to me.
So Parker, now a mainstay of this Manly team. That's the former Rooster, Christian Tuipulotu. A fine debut against Melbourne last year. Scored a try. Marty Tapau. Morgan Boyle. A former Titan now over the 30. Here's Cust. Short side for Sirinen. Again. When he turns it infield here, he's causing a problem or two. Still 2 tackles remaining. Schuster. The stab. Well weighted. And batted out there by Laurie. But a good result for the Sea Eagles. And Josh Schuster looks comfortable, doesn't he?
Yeah, the number 6, I tell you what, him or Kieran Foran, either way, it's looking good for Manly. And every time they come this left side, the Sea Eagles, they're really posing a threat to the West Tigers' right edge defence. And 6 more tackles here in this heat. Don't be surprised if there's a chance to tie it up at the end of this set of 6.
Still not certain where Foran will play. There was a theory that he could play number 9. Wait and see. So it's a pound now. Good strong start to this set. Across the 20-minute mark of this game. Well, that's a very late offload. It is a laissez-faire refereeing display so far. Good stuff. Harper. Now on to Paseka. Again bends the defensive line back. Manly inside the 10. Here's Schuster. Back on the inside for Harper. Offhand Gowie all over it. Manly looking for back-to-back tries. Paseka again. And this time comfortably handled. Little and Leilua there. Slow play the ball. Too slow. 6 more tackles. They won't need them. Boyle. Oh, he's caught short. Boy, it looks certain he was going to get over. Cust. Well, he's going to have a little dart. Now Boyle. Oh, Tapau. Schuster. Again the early kick. Oh, Norfoluma. Stays in the field of play. Ball came out via Gajewski. And the final result is it's Tigers ball.
Well, a little bit loose there. And Norfoluma twice looked like he was going to give away a try. But in the end, the West Tigers out of jail. Leichhardt Oval faithful, starting to hear them roar. They want a 6 again.
Paul, it might be a trial. They're in regular season form. It's a strong shot there on Capola. And there's the referee waving the hand. So it is another set here for the West Tigers. For Hengawi. Grand finalist for the Broncos back in 2015. Leilua. Oh, sharp. Little. Sirinen hangs on. Laurie now comes out to Brooks. Brooks keeps it going. Tommy Talau. Finished last year in the centres. Now Brooks. It might be a tester here. Oh, Parkus. Superb catch.
That was a great catch by the man they commonly call Hank Scorpio. That was a definite Hank Scorpio effort.
And again, play allowed to continue here. These very late offloads. Now we've got a problem in back play. Cade Cust is clutching at his left arm, left wrist. That's one we have to keep an eye on. This is an area they can't afford to lose players, Manly. The number 9 role. Manasi Fainu, of course, he's not available until the middle of the year at least, as he deals with his court case. So it's not an area that they can... Lachlan Croker also has had some dramas, so that's a concern. Norfoluma, tough.
Cade Cust, he pushed his, or he punched his good arm down on the ground in disgust at this injury, so I would say that that's not looking good. Straight off the park. I do see Sione Fainu, who is the brother of Manasi, but not built like him at all. So he won't go into dummy half. He's a prop. So it'll be interesting to see the reshuffle there for Manly now.
Number 19, he mightn't come on yet, but Jack Burt is the kid to keep an eye on. He's a young dummy half. As the Tigers work it up the middle. Twal, geez, got through some work, as he always does. Leilua. Oh, he's giving Weeks nightmares. Now Brooks. In and away. Oh, great tackle, Harper. Gee, Harper's come up with some terrific shots today, but out it goes. Kepper, scores untouched. And there are fans here standing in the Leichhardt grandstand. Tigers up 16-6.
What about the ball at a dummy half from Tommy Talau? You speak of guys who can fill that number 6 role, and that was a nice pass for Kapoa, unmarked in the corner. But it was the run from Luke Brooks, and here you see on the replay, Luciano Leilua, he is the talisman for the West Tigers on that left edge. Got the ball away, great tackle by Harper, but then a quick play of the ball, and Talau, he summed it up perfectly. Kapoa, well, he won't get an easier try than that, Dan.
Any dummy half would be proud of that. That's a bullet that he's thrown.
Have a look again on the replay with that pass by Leilua. West Tigers fans will be very happy to see him in full flight. He looks pretty trim. Remember the days in the Dragons? He looks nothing like that under Coach Maguire here at the West Tigers. And this is a guy who we might be talking about a lot come 2021 and even higher honours.
There's no doubt for the Tigers that the big story so far today, Leilua has been unstoppable, and Dane Laurie. So far, a couple of terrific players. And now Joe Offahengawi gets a nice ovation here as he exits the arena.
Yeah.
Good, tough 25-minute stint.
Try-saving tackle at the other end, of course, on Morgan Harper just a few minutes before they went the length of the field there, the West Tigers.
And now James Tarmo getting a similar reception. And here's Brooks. Kick's just getting a little wider out. That one doesn't strike as well. But Tigers back out to a 10-point lead. 16 points to 6.
Yeah, definitely. Dane Laurie, remember around this time last year when the buzz happened for Harry Grant to join the West Tigers, and he really made an impact, and looks like Dane Laurie could do similar things in 2021. A late signing, but one that could make a big difference.
A very different looking Tigers outfit this year. So many departures. Benji, of course, Josh Reynolds, Josh Aloiai. Get to see him today for Manly. Harry Grant, Rob Jennings, Elijah Taylor, Corey Thompson. That was early in the season. Chris Lawrence retired. Matt Eisenhuth, Paul Momirovski. So that's about a third of their squad gone.
It's Michael Maguire's team. He's got the extension, and he's making the roster changes as well.
Oh, here we go. Jacob Little, almost. Crucial ankle tap from Paseka. He's been wanting to do that for a while, Little. Looking for tired players. And now Uto Ikamanu. They signed this kid over a year ago from Parramatta. And now here's James Roberts. Oh, Packer there almost taken on suspicion. Little to Brooks. And Brooks into the sun. Not an easy one for Tui Pilotu. And that has been put down. That is a knock on. More pressure coming for the Seagulls.
Yeah, nice kick into the sun, as you said, Dan. And Morgan Harper, well, it went back initially, but when he tried to pull the ball in, he just grabbed it forward ever so slightly. So the West Tigers now will get the scrum feed right in front of the sticks, 10 metres out. And those Manly players look pretty tired. While the West Tigers have made those changes, not so yet. Des Hasler, he wants his forwards to get that extra hit out. 29 minutes they've gone strong. The likes of Tapau and Paseka, big boys, and they've really been made to work here today at Leichhardt.
You imagine there's some sort of science to all that, to get the moles in the legs. Of course, a week off next week. And the Tigers immediately shifted out here to Roberts. And that ball picked up by Jock Madden. So now Little, away to Twal. Back inside, Uto Ikamanu. Bumped away there from Boyle. Oh, he's hard to put down. Now Little. It's a loose pass, but sits up nicely. Laurie gets it on to Talau. Taken awkwardly, but he's fine. As Brooks, the double pump. Tall. No panic here from the Tigers. Patient in this set with Little. Again linking up with Brooks. Oh, Garner just couldn't link up with a support player. Now the final play. Brooks, he's going to try and do it on his own here. He's going to fall short. And it comes out eventually, and that's going to be play on. Could have been called a knock on, and Manly bring it out to the 10, but we just roll on.
Good defence there by Manly. That was not easy, as we said, with the front 13 still on, but they held their nerve well.
Manly here stuck in quicksand. The Tigers rampant at the moment. Sully barely over the 10. Ah, the crowd got that one. The crowd, they got into their head there of Crown Atkins, and now the Tigers can really put the foot down.
And that put that down to the West Tigers' strong defence coming up off their own line. And 3 tackles in their own 10, Manly. And then Sully thought, well, I'll have a run, but he was the only one there. And by the time the ball got to him on the blind, it was just a touch forward.
Does it get better than this? These are wonderful scenes. Not many of us could go to football last year. People taking the advantage. Laurie well contained this time. And now Norfoluma runs into a cul-de-sac. But again slips the offload. Boy, they've had some offloads today. But Roberts nowhere to go. So they've lost 10 metres here, the Tigers. And now a straightener from Luke Garner. 4th year of first grade. As Little. Utoe Kamanu to Brooks. Brooks finding Leilua. Another offload. Laurie gets it on. Tommy Talau scores. Oh, they are destroying Manly on that side of the field. Leilua again with his fingerprints all over it, but that is a terrific Tigers try, and Manly can't go with them.
Tommy Talau is the man that will go in the scorebook, but it's Luciano Leilua's try, that's for sure. Have a look on the replay here. And you can see just a simple move to the left, and then 2 men try to take Leilua. They can't stop him. Dane Laurie onto Talau, and he says, I can do this one on my own. And he gets himself into the books.
You're into the Supercoach, aren't you, Paul?
Yeah.
I can see the clicks going on Luciano Leilua's name as we speak.
Well, they have a good matchup too against teams with right side defence issues, shall we say, in those opening 5 rounds. And so if Leilua wasn't in your team before today's display, I think time to go log on and just change it.
I don't know if you caught that. That was a lovely shot. He was pumping the fist after setting that try up. He is really up for this. This is a big year, you sense, for Luciano Leilua.
Yeah, there's one thing Michael Maguire may have his detractors, but he's very good at getting the best out of younger players, come to the club that maybe they haven't had the best out of them in the past, and getting them where they need to be.
So again, Brooks getting used to these kicks on that side of the field, and this time the radar's spot on.
Impressive kick for a left-foot kicker across the body there.
4 tries in the first 33 minutes.
There was that moment where Manly looked like they were going to equalise. They had all the pressure on West Tigers' defence, but since then, it's just been all one-way traffic, and well, the fans are loving it here at Leichhardt Oval. They're just previewed of what's to come in round 1 of the Telstra Premiership.
And now the Tigers rucking it out with Little. Another impressive performance. Many for the Tigers.
I feel like he's benefited from Harry Grant being there last year and passing on the Cam Smith knowledge tree, perhaps.
Here's Packer on the run. Alex Seyfarth was running alongside him. Well, here's Luciano. Just give it to the big kid. Let him run. Again, hard to put down. That was one of the better Manly efforts. They've stacked that short side as Brooks again puts Harper under pressure, but he handles that well. Morgan Harper's had some nice moments in this first half, despite the score being heavily against them.
Good buy coming over from the Bulldogs, and mainly we've seen him in the centres in the past, but here's his chance at fullback. Hasn't let anyone down.
Now Garrick. His big year was 2019, represented Australia at the World Nines. And there's Aloye, and there's the reaction from the crowd. Not unexpected, a bitter divorce with the Tigers. And now Sean Kepi, some fresh legs now that Manly so desperately need. There's Aloye. And that's Fainu, Sione Fainu, playing in that dummy half roll. Siren's put that down. It's a penalty. It's called a strip.
Bit of a tough call on Russell Packer there. I thought he was just trying to attempt a tackle, but obviously the arm just lodging in and dislodging the ball.
So Toff Sipley gets us going here. Manly looking for their second try. Aloye. Almost there. Fainu. Oh, the little swivel. Just taken. Little. As well as Packer. And now a pick and drive. He got over Toff Sipley, but he's been held up.
Yeah, that's where the lack of a dummy half's just costing Manly a little bit there.
And now Schuster away here to Gajewski. And we get to the final play here. And Schuster's kick, that won't be easy. Oh, it's bamboozled the Tigers. And it's 6 more tackles. So, precious field position here for Manly as Kepi goes nowhere. Well, we've seen some big swings in games over the past 24 hours. Yeah, try here for Manly would be handy. And another fresh set here. Sione Fainu again has a dart. Harper. Weeks. Didn't like what was on his outside. There's Aloye giving it to Schuster, and look at them surround him. There's now Kepi down the middle. Wants to offload, but the Tigers do a good job there locking that arm with the ball. Well, here we go. The last play is Fainu. Floats one. Weeks. Talau reads that beautifully, and he's taken into the in goal.
Nice kick by Weeks there. They'll get the extra set of 6. Talau very safe back there on that occasion, but still he couldn't stay in the field of play.
Probably, Paul, not a surprising scoreline given the Tigers are presenting a stronger team, I think it must be said. No Cherry Evans, no Foran. There's a few other players not here as well. The Trbojevic boys, Dylan Walker.
You place those guys back in this team and it changes everything for Manly. I don't think that they've been as bad, I guess, as the scoreline currently reflects.
So apart from the Cade Cust injury, which is concerning, I don't think it'd be all that much panic with Manly, given all those players missing. Sipley now. Well, this crowd is having an influence. Although the touch judge, it's got to be said, was instantly signalling that that was a forward pass.
Yeah, it was probably marginal at best, but when you're at Leichhardt Oval, 50-50s often go a certain way, and we'll see here on the replay, the camera's got a pretty good angle on it. Well, you could argue that it did go a little bit forward out of the hands. We'll give the touch judge the credit there.
So it'll be interesting how these teams play it after half time, how long the gun players will stay in the game for. It's Alex Seyfarth sprinkling a first-grade experience. Played 4 games last year as Ghana now with a couple of plays remaining. In fact, it's a little bit longer than what that time suggests as Seyfarth smashed.
What a hit.
That was Aloye with a bit of venom. So 40 seconds left on the official clock. And this is the last tackle for the Tigers. Laurie, Leilua, now to Lau. And no panic from Harper. So that might just about see us out. 22 seconds now remain. And Manly look in no mood for adventure as this half winds down. There's a hit up from Sully. And now Aloye has been very busy since entering the game. And that's it. That's the end of a terrific first half, albeit for one play. As a little chip kick from Schuster. And Laurie, he thought about trying something, but he just takes the tackle. It's a trial game, and they are standing. A standing ovation for the Wests Tigers. A lot to like if you're a Tigers fan coming out of that first 40 minutes. A double to Laurie to open the batting. 22-6 is the halftime score. We're going to take a quick break and we'll come back with the second half. On the other side of this, you're watching the NRL trials live, NRL.com and KO Sports. My goodness, aren't they having a good time out on the hill?
They sure are, and we can get an idea of which players are in contention for or fighting for first grade spots with who's run out, because it's almost entirely a swamp of players for Manly, but we still see the likes of Tupelotu and Harper and Schuster going to get a run in the second half for at least a little while, and a bit more time to impress coach Des Hasler. But other than that, we're going to see a lot of the younger players for Manly Sea Eagles here.
They were warming up most of the first half. The second wave of players along the sideline were West Tigers looking pretty settled here. Russell Packer in jersey 24. He made an appearance in the first half. Reece Hoffman in 15. We'll see him in this second period. And usually the way it goes in these trials, with about 20 minutes to go, that's when basically all the stars come off and the youngsters get a real crack at it. So here we go. Manly's one try. KO Weeks, the halfback, scoring for the Wests Tigers. Dane Laurie a double, AJ Kapoor and Tommy Talau crossed. A sensational start from Dane Laurie, and Luciano Leilua has been dominant. In commentary, Dan Ganane, Paul Grozadka, and now it's Manly just getting through the opening tackles here. Still quite warm. It has cooled down a few degrees, but we're still in the mid-20s. And that ball poked into touch.
Yeah, it looked like a nice little kick there. Was that Zane Harris? He's a young halfback for Manly, sort of coming through in the developmental squad. So he's going to get his chance with KO Weeks not on the field for the second half.
So here we go there. Because the ball put into touch off the boot, that's a changeover. So that's one of the new rule changes there. One less scrum than we would normally have. And the Tigers already into Manly territory. Alex Seyfarth. The 18, Jake Simkin, replacing Jacob Little in the dummy half role. Little, very encouraging first 40. Brooks getting it on here to Michael Cheekham. The Tigers a while now, former Manly player. As Brooks chopping a kick. Oh, terrific catch there by Tavita Funa. He is one of the best in the air, and the Tigers called offside.
A little bit surprised Funa didn't get a shot in this starting lineup, but he's got a chance to impress here in the second half. That was a lovely take.
Could be a big second half for him with Christian Tuipolotu playing the first 40 minutes for the Manly side on the wing, the former Rooster.
He had some issues in the air too, Tuipolotu.
That's Funa. Zaloye. Crowd not as vociferous. He's had so many runs, the crowd's run out of puff every time he hits it up. Oh, Schuster. Not looking in confidence, this young man. And now Aloye. And that signals the final play coming. And it's Schuster going end over end. And a very safe take here by Laurie.
Gee, he looks good even just on the little kick returns. He's just got that bit of spark about him. Able to find little gaps in the defensive line and shoot through.
Nice sharp play of the ball. Doing things a little quicker, the Tigers. And that's the number 15 in Reese Hoffman, who played an NRL game last year and scored. That was against South Sydney. Leilua. This time well contained. And now that's Uto Ikamanu. Put away by his opposite number, Sipley. So Brooks again. That's a screwing kick. That's not going to be an easy one. Nicely caught though by Dylan Smith.
Of course, Dylan Smith was here for the West Tigers the last few years, played for the Magpies in the second tier competition, but has decided to go over to Manly for 2021 and have a shot trying to make first grade here or for Manly.
And now the Tigers have come up with it, and they look to quickly spread it. Here's Roberts. Winding up, but Ben Trebojevic getting him down low. Now Adam Dewey. Bounding down the middle. What a shot. Jack Kajewski there.
Talking about bringing the hammer. Dewey spilling the beans, but who wouldn't on a hit like that? Jack Kajewski picking up from where George Tafua left off the past few seasons.
In fact, I've got to correct myself. It was Andrew Davies, similar blonde hair, but the former Parramatta player. What a shot. That's a great opening statement from him this afternoon.
A lot of raps on him coming over from Parramatta as well.
Yeah, late bloomer. And there he is now. Davey pushing away from Luke Brooks. Now Smith, Dylan Smith. There's the high kick from Harris. And again, no problem for Laurie. Decides to bring in Norfoluma. Here's Roberts. Geez, looks sharp. Away from Trebojevic, away from Kepi. Trebojevic has another go. Another real positive today is James Roberts. And Norfoluma. Oh, he just cuts them open. Into the backfield. And he comes to the fullback, and that's good scramble from Harper. Out it comes to Brooks. Floating it to Talau. Bouncing off Smith. Now back to the middle they go. As Uto Ikamanu will play it. Still tackles left here as Brooks to Dewey. Dewey takes on Trebojevic and takes him all the way to the line. Adam Dewey adds to the scoreboard. Tigers their 5th try.
Nice try, Adam Dewey. There wasn't much doing there with Ben Trebojevic. Looked like he had him wrapped up and he just said, I'll just take you on with the fend and beat you one-on-one. And it all came back from the break to David Norfoluma. He set up that try and Adam Dewey just on the park for the second half, finished it. 2 strong one-on-one for the Manly defender, Ben Trebojevic.
So Adam Dewey, the unfamiliar 16 jersey, has trained in that 5/8 role, and we won't see him in the opening round, but he'll be part of the first grade squad as soon as he is available. Adam Dewey.
Jock Madden pretty quiet in the first half, and interesting the tactics between the two coaches, whereas Des Hazard's gone for almost a complete swap. Coach Michael Maguire has left most of the West Tigers on the field. The players that maybe he wants to look at, he's actually subbed out. Guys like Jock Madden and Jacob Little off, so guys like Jake Simpkin and Adam Dewey can show their wares, and same with the winger Reece Hoffman. And he's in obviously for Asa Kapoa, so doubt we will see Asa Kapoa in the second half with Hoffman getting his shot.
So a rarity for Brooks. He's kicking on the right side. Again, he's looking into the sun. And another nice strike. He's only missed one this afternoon, 4 from 5. Now, there's a bit of an old-fashioned feel here at Leichhardt, Sunday Arvo. And we had 4 grades today. Earlier, Blacktown and West's 28 all in the New South Wales Cup. SG ball, Manly over the West Magpies 16-6, and Harold Matts, Manly 20, West's 14. So there we go. Plenty of entertainment for the crowd, and there were plenty here early, but they really did pour in late.
The Magpies came back from 28-6 down as well to get that tying try and conversion on the bell. It's a good game, and this one is going the way of the West Tigers faithful here at Leichhardt as well.
It's so good that we return to normality and those second-tier competitions resume after being wiped out by COVID. So they've picked up from where they left off, the Tigers. And it's Russell Packer. So few games over the last couple of years due to injury and suspension. Just 13, in fact, over the last 2 seasons. But he's earned his side a penalty here.
Just over the horizontal, Sean Kepi there, and a little bit too dangerous, deemed referee Grant Atkins.
Well, the last thing you want is to have a suspension coming out of a trial match. And the Tigers back in familiar territory. Here's Simpkin about to get it. Uto Ikamanu, he's looked strong, hasn't he? A former Eel.
He's such a big body, isn't he, in the middle? Exact type of player Michael Maguire craves.
Now the cutout here for Laurie. After that sensational first 10 minutes, hasn't had too many opportunities, but has looked sharp throughout. And now a run from Simpkin as he's driven into the deck by Kepi. Well, Packer dummy half. And the little flick. Laurie the footwork. Laurie straightening. Oh, just for a moment it looked like he had a third. Here's the last tackle. And Brooks, this time a little lower, and Dewey holds on to it and links up here with Hoffman. Leilua on the last. He's done okay here. That's a contest. Up they go, and Packer comes down. Laurie, the grubber, Schuster the cover, and Schuster's put into the in goal. They can't do a thing wrong, these West Tigers, this afternoon.
Luciano Leilua, everything touches turns to gold at the moment. He ended up with it on the last after the first kick went down, and didn't do a bad job. And then Dane Laurie made it a trifecta of kicks, and that's earned them a forced dropout. Here it is on the replay. Russell Packer getting involved as well, and Laurie, well, give credit to David Norfoluma too. Look at this tackle. And that might be Leilua's day done.
And what a day it's been yet. That's the man you just heard getting an ovation. He could not be any more impressive. And looks fit too. As now the Tigers 16 metres away. That's Tuilangi who's playing it there, and Seyfarth wrapped up by Fainu. When it comes to Brooks, the early kick this time, and now it is Roberts. Cowler rode him all the way, but Roberts gets it down. He deserves that try. He's been terrific this afternoon.
100% agree, Dan. Luke Brooks with the kick, and then James Roberts just straight through. Well, there they go. He's called Jimmy the Jet for a reason, and he must have only just got that ball down right on the dead ball line, but Grant Atkins was there, and he said, I think that's a try.
Luke Brooks last year had just 5 try assists. And that is a try.
Brooks, he has looked like a man who is craving running the show.
Yeah, we didn't see him play on that right side of the field at all last year with Benji Marshall there for most of it. So now he knows his job is to just get into first receiver no matter where it is on the field, and he's doing just that. And that kick was on the outside edge of the boot as well. Obviously as a left footer, that's why he normally plays on the left side of the field, but he's been practicing his kicks, no doubt, and here he is kicking goals as well.
So Luke Brooks never kicked in the NRL. He's certainly more than capable going by today's performance. And it's another one through the middle. So 2 tries since half-time, 34 points to 6. And the Tigers can get used to afternoon football because their first 5 rounds are all in daytime. Canberra, round 1, Sunday afternoon in the capital. Round 2, Sunday 4 p.m. against the Roosters at Campbelltown. Round 3, they travel up to Newcastle. Then Easter Monday. That is always a superb game, and it's at ANZ this year against the Parramatta Eels, and then North Queensland at Leichhardt. So 5 afternoon games in a row, 4 of them Sundays. I don't think their fans will have a problem with that.
That's when the West Tigers love to play too, ever since the days Tim Sheen's coached here. They always loved the day rugby league.
And now a real snap about them at the moment. That's Simpkin with the dart.
1-6 more tackles too with that quick play of the ball, attempted quick play of the ball, then was pushed back down.
And McKaylee with that offload getting them going, and here's Laurie. Oh, this kid's going to get this crowd rising with every touch. Yeah, that was forward. That was right in front of us here at Leichhardt, and haven't got too many things wrong, the Tigers, but that one is a lost opportunity.
Just a chance for Manly to regroup now. The scoreboard is beyond them, but they can at least start to show what they can do to the coach Des Hasler and try to get a few tries here. I'm still waiting to see Jack Burt, the young dummy half. I might have seen him by now. And certainly Ben Trebojevic out there, but he's only been forced to tackle off.
Now that ball's come out cleanly. So Christian Tuipulotu has put that one down. So now the Tigers on the march again. McKaylee. Now Brooks. Dummies to Packer. Short pass here. Tui Lungi. And now they roll forward. Russell Packer. He discovered the line was just there and almost got it down. Dewey to Laurie. Laurie out to Cheekham. And he's swamped here. He's in trouble. And the desperation pass finds Andrew Davey. And he hurdles downfield. Over halfway. And then the offload and hung on to. So Manly all of a sudden with a chance. Dylan Smith playing it. Harris to Funa. Now Schuster. England footstep. Here's Ben Trebojevic. Again attacking the short side. Oh, that was a big play there from Norfoluma. They had the numbers, Manly. And they'll get to do some more attacking, but he's so good at that, David Norfoluma, sensing when to come in, and he saved it there.
Almost a deliberate knock-on, wasn't it? His only purpose was just to stop the try being scored by batting the ball away. But I'll tell you what, speaking of some rules there, Michael Cheekham, that looked like a deliberate forward pass. It led to the Davey break. I was thinking back to a couple of weeks ago with the Super Bowl on with that pass that far forward.
We've gone back to some old rules, Paul. That would be an old rule that we return to. We went back to the old deliberate forward. So here comes Manly. Just the one try so far. As Funa chopped down my Cheekham. Dylan Smith seen a bit of ball in the second half. Zane Harris waiting. And the number 24, Sione Fainu at first receiver there. And now who go into the dummy half roll. Aloia's play the ball. Schuster, beautiful pass, and over goes Ben Travojevic. Well, on a day that hasn't been all that bright for Manly, Josh Schuster has looked terrific at times, and Ben Travojevic, the raps are huge on this young man, and a nice finish from him.
Josh Schuster, all class, and probably we would have seen him in first grade last year more often, if not for the fact that the second tier couldn't get on the park. But we're seeing today what he can do. And Ben Trebojevic, well, we already know the last name, but we can get used to maybe the trifecta of brothers running out in the maroon and white for Manly, because he ran that hole perfectly.
What a superb ball from Schuster.
He's been a class above his teammates today, I feel, with the young in those playmaking roles, of course, with sort of all the younger players having to take part. And I think it might be hard for Des to leave him out in round one. I feel like he's going to have to be there somewhere in the 17.
Remember that news, if you're just tuning in, Cade Cust injured out of this game. He was clutching at the left arm, perhaps the left wrist, so hopefully it's good news. You don't want players going down in trials. It's been a relatively injury-free weekend, considering years gone by. There's been some devastating blows. Wade Egan is a problem for the Warriors, a right arm issue, and Harry Grant for Melbourne. He has scans tomorrow on a sprained MCL. If it's a lower grade, he might be okay for round one.
Yeah, interesting. 3 dummy halves, and that's about it. We have been blessed, though, touch wood, with a bit of time left here, but no major concerns coming out of this bumper trial weekend.
This might be something they look at the NRL down the track. It's out of really necessity this year, because obviously the short off season. But I know people have been streaming these games in huge numbers across KO and NRL.com, so might have stumbled on something here, a bit of a festival of footy.
I love it, and look, there's plenty of people out here today showing that they're enjoying it as well. A big crowd for a trial game.
Now Aloiai. Let's find her way to Schuster. Tucks that in. It's just not going to set up.
Well, it's probably the first thing that he hasn't quite got perfect today, Josh Schuster. The Leichhardt Oval does tend to run on a bit. It is a fast track.
I think you could guess who came off there for Manly, judging by those boos. That's the end of Josh Aloiai's afternoon. An unhappy homecoming, albeit in a trial. So here's Cheekham exploring down the middle. Now McKaylee is getting through some work in this second half. Seyfarth running into Davey and also Kepi. Geez, the meters, they've just been flowing for the Tigers. Oh, a lovely pass from Dewey. And he puts his man away. Another try. Kelmer to Alungi. Nice put down, but yet again, the pass was sublime. This time it was Dewey.
Yeah, Tuolangi has the try, but Adam Dewey been very impressive in this second half, playing in that halves role. Different to what he did last year here, where he was mainly either a fullback or a centre, but it looks like he's just growing into this role with ease. And the Brooks-Dewey combination, that's the one that Maguire looks like he's stumbling upon here today with this trial game. Look at that pass. And Tuolangi, well, he still had a bit of work to do. Morgan Harper, he's been very good at the back, but he wasn't quite as keen to take on the big Tuolangi, and probably just was too close to his own line to affect the try saver there.
If Harper's done enough to lock in that number 1 position
Agreed.
while Tom Trbojevic is injured. Certainly looks steady, hasn't he?
Agreed, and I think that, you know, with the type of play that Des Hasler likes there at the back, he doesn't necessarily need him to be flashy. He just wants him to be safe, and Harper's been that, but he's got a bit of footwork about him as well, especially close to the line.
That was 22-6 at half time, and the Tigers have just continued on. And now Dewey will put the Tigers into the 40s. James Roberts. Few people standing once again as Roberts gets a nice ovation.
Yeah, James Roberts, well-deserved ovation. Got that try, of course, and looks good in the new colours, the black, white and gold of the West Tigers. Adam Dewey's taken over the kicking duties. Luke Brooks, he's done enough now, and he goes off for a well-earned rest. And we've got a lot of the younger players coming on the park now for both teams. And Manly making a few changes as well. So we'll see these younger players get their opportunity in the last 15.
Well, Paul Grzatka, take over, my friend. Take us home for these last 17 minutes.
Thanks, Dan. And straight away from the kickoff, a big run there. But look at this Manly defence. I think Sipley's still on the park, and he's leading the way there. Some strong tackling by him, and also Zach Sadler. Interesting with Sadler as well, because of course he's played in 2 All-Stars games now, but still yet to make his NRL debut. So maybe this is the year for young Zach Sadler. As the West Tigers, it's the try scorer, Tuolangi. He's looked likely for the West Tigers since coming on the field. And here's another big run by one of these youngsters coming on the field in the latter part of this game. Dummy half is Simpkin. On to Dewey, and a good tackle there on, well, he's might be the number 10, but is it Afanagowie back out there?
Yeah, he is. He's come back. Might be a surprise that he's come back for a second stint.
Oh, well, Morgan Harper would given him a rap for his safety under the high ball and in the defence in general, but he wasn't able to handle that one. And the high fives are coming for the West Tigers. That kick by Dewey, that was quite perilous. He might have learnt that one from Benji Marshall. Of course, he's really good with those high balls. But on that occasion, Morgan Harper just spilt it without a lot of pressure on him.
Geez, the crowd will feel like they contributed to that. Chockers down in that corner. And now here come the Tigers.
Adam Dewey again at first receiver. The cutout pass for Nofaluma, and he was unmarked in the corner. So it was about time that the West Tigers put some more points on the board. And here we go, 44 now it is to 12 with the kick to come. And it's all one-way traffic at Leichhardt Oval.
So David Nofaluma gets on the score sheet. And again, Adam Dewey. Well, here's some more reason for hope for the Tigers fans. The number 6 in waiting, and he has thrown 2 delightful try assists. The short ball for the previous try, and now the floater. So 50 is within reach.
Yeah, and he summed up the situation perfectly there, Adam Dewey. He just looked inside, and when the young winger there, Kalua, came in, well, basically it just left it open for Nofaluma, and he's a try-scoring machine, but that one, well, yeah, that was one of the easier ones that he'll get in his NRL career.
So Adam Dewey's played 50 NRL games, I'm sorry, 30 for South, 20 for West's Tigers, and he's had a taste of it in the halves very briefly, but more likely more often a fullback, a centre.
It looks the spot for him, the number 6 at the moment. He's certainly got the ball skills for it, and he's still got a bit of running to his game, as we saw when he scored that try earlier in the second half. And it looks like that Michael Maguire has definitely got his halves combination figured out long term for this season and even beyond. This has been a very impressive performance from the West Tigers.
5 games he played in the halves for South back in 2019, so certainly not unfamiliar with They'll roll in the halves.
Brad Fittler had big raps on him, of course, when he played for Lebanon and Fittler was the coach. And he's growing into that role now.
So if he's the 6 and Dane Laurie is putting up an irresistible case to be 1, how does Mbai fit into this equation?
He might be the
14. Is he the 9? Yeah.
Oh, and Adam Dewey says anything Luke Brooks can do with the goal kicking, I can do better, because that is from the touchline, and he has put it between the posts and kicking around the body as well. That was very impressive from Adam Dewey. And they are 1 try away from hitting the big 50 Dan.
Well, they want more. This crowd wants more. By the way, scores in the other trials, if you haven't caught up with it this weekend, Cowboys over Brisbane 34-18. Kevin Walters confirming today that Tom Dearden and Anthony Milford will be the round 1 halves combination. Penrith over Parramatta 16-6. The Dogs came back to beat Cronulla 16-12. Draw between the Titans and the Warriors on the far north coast of New South Wales, 12 points all. Melbourne 30-10 over Newcastle. Roosters 26 beat Canberra 20. And the Charity Shield, what a flogging. But let's
concentrate on Laurie, great run coming out, and he's just been met by Morgan Harper. Another brilliant tackle by Harper, saving another potential try. But they go to the right side now. Jock Madden with the little chip over the top. It's been touched by Manly. It will be 6 more tackles, but no. The referee, Grant Atkins, actually says there was a knock-on against the West Tigers in all that. And I guess that the touch by Manly went backwards, so they'll get the scrum here, the scrum feed. Josh Schuster. Touch went backwards. Dane Laurie coming off now for the West Tigers, replaced by Tyrone Roberts-Davis, who's on a train and trial contract here, so he'll get a late shot at fullback. But Dane Laurie, very, very impressive, and that run capped off a marvellous afternoon for him at Leichhardt.
Another success story for the Tigers this afternoon.
And Manly, well, they'll just be happy to get the ball for a set of 6 here and regroup, because they've had to do a lot of defending. And as we talked about early in the first half, with this heat here today, it was never going to be easy if the weight of possession was too far gone to one team. And that's sort of what's happened with the West Tigers, getting the roll on, and Manly just haven't been able to stop the tide. Now there's a run by the number 26, Alec Tuatavake. And here goes Morgan Harper. He'll have a little scurry himself. Brought down there on the 40-metre line, and away they go through Zach Sadler. Strong run up the middle, but it is the last tackle. And it's now kicked by Zane Harris straight down the throat of Roberts-Davis. He gets a slight roll here. He played fullback in last week's trial out at Camden. Had some good things, also through an intercept try, so he is definitely on watch with the train and trial contract. A number of players playing this weekend are on that train and trial contracts around the league, and you know, definitely with no second tier last year, a lot of players really trying to impress and get back into first grade rugby league. Here go the West Tigers again. Nice ball out the back. Tuolangi kept it going. Now they've flung it back infield. And it looks like that the play has come to an end. In fact, Sione Fainu nearly pulled a one-on-one strip there on Seyfarth, but he did keep the ball, Alex Seyfarth. And now the West Tigers go through Cheekam. He's very dangerous in open space. We've seen that in NRL in the past. And now it's on to Adam Dewey. Nobody can touch him at the moment, so he gets it onwards. This is Simpkins, Tukey Simpkins, who was very impressive last week. He's a recruit from the North Queensland Cowboys. Nice offload to Jake Simpkin. And Jake Simpkin will stroll over and score. Spun out of the attempted tackle. And these are the same 2 players who combined in the last trial to score a try. They've done it again, Simpkins and Simpkin.
They have hit 50. 50 to 12. 5 second half tries. And the Tigers train just keeps rolling on. What a lovely offload. Tukey Simpkins. And Jake Simpkin slipping away there. And oh, this day can't end soon enough for Manly.
No, we have seen a trial earlier in this pre-season end early. But unfortunately for Manly, I don't think they're going to get that opportunity here today. They're going to have to see out these last 8 minutes, and it's already 50-12. And well, we said earlier, they're missing most of their biggest names, Dan, but still, this has got to be a bit of a worry for their fans.
Well, particularly only 7 wins last year, same as the Tigers, 7 wins. But it was a miserable finish for Manly. Their last 2 months, they were slaughtered in many games. Again, their best player's not here today, so this is not necessarily a guide as to how they'll go in 2021. Tukey Simpkins, interesting story via North Queensland, but a former rugby prospect in New Zealand. Huge raps on him, so one to watch.
I think he played for the Junior All Blacks, and decided to make it rugby league, and it was another one with the late swap with Kane Bradley going up there, and Simpkins coming down here. I think he might have signed for next year, and they got him a year early. And with Sean Bloor, very much, I think he's actually out now for about 6 weeks. Simpkins has got a chance for a spot in this 17.
You're noticing, Paul, no one's leaving this ground. They want to soak this up, these Tigers fans. It's a good afternoon, and they're getting plenty of entertainment.
There's Adam Dewey. This is an easier attempt for him. Straight between the posts, 52-12. And an interesting stat, we know that the West Tigers have had their fair share of ninths over the past number of years. Well, it's actually been 9 years of missed finals. So maybe that number 9 might turn around and be some good luck.
Paul, they were having such a happy day, and you had to bring that up. You had to bring that up. They're going to play 3 games at Leichhardt this year, as we've touched on. 3 at Campbelltown, starting with round 2 against the Roosters. They go to Tamworth to play the Sharks in round 23. They play at ANZ. Well, it's not ANZ anymore. It's Stadium Australia for Easter Monday. Bank West, 3 games there. And also they host a Magic Round game. So 6 home grounds for the Tigers in 2021.
Yeah, they are. They do enjoy the multiple home grounds. But like you said, Magic Round, I'm looking forward to that one. A great initiative by the NRL, and it's good that it's back here for season 2021. As the West Tigers just roll on. Quick play, the balls, and Jake Simpkin out of dummy half. He's been impressive as well. Jacob Little was excellent in the first half, but geez, Jake Simpkin's done nothing wrong either. Jock Madden taking a run now up the middle, getting about 15 metres there. The Manly defence hanging off him. Away they go to the left with Dewey. Dewey keeping the ball on to Roberts Davis. Here's Cheekham out in the centres now. He's got Zach Sini with him, but he goes inside instead. The flick pass has gone to ground, and while Joe Hengawi picked it up, Grant Atkins has said it's a knock-on. And the crowd are cheering, but it's actually a field goal. It's like a crowd catch in the cricket there, Dan. A field goal after play had stopped.
Look at that score, 52-12. It's easily the biggest score of the weekend. Well, easily the biggest margin. South last night won by 32 over St George, Illawarra. But we've surpassed that. Nice little strike from Packer.
What do you make of some of these new rules designed to make the game quicker, of course, Dan, but also it can result in some of these sort of wild possession percentages, I guess, that make it difficult for a defensive team.
Because we've only had the one round, essentially, Paul, it's hard, isn't it, to gauge how effective they will be. You know, the quick turnover from the scrums, the 6 again off a offside play. But I haven't heard any complaints so far, that's for sure.
And Grant Atkins, he's had a nice free-flowing open game too, hasn't he? He hasn't got involved too much at all, so that could change round 1 where the referees might be more on the ball with some of these 6 to go.
He's been like Adam Sandler in Big Daddy. He's let everything go.
There it is on the last tackle now as Manly go back to the right. Josh Schuster putting the high ball up for Roberts Davis. This is a test. And he can't handle it, so Zane Harris grabs it. They'll get 6 more tackles here, Manly, right on the West Tigers line. Away to the right they go. Schuster puts himself into position, steps off the left foot, and he'll go in himself. This Josh Schuster, well, he has the pedigree with the name already, but he can add his own. He can add his own to that because he has had a day for a team that's been well and truly beaten.
Clearly the silver lining to this cloudy day for Manly, Josh Schuster. He's been setting him up, and this time he does it on his own. Sharp footwork. Joe Hengawi had no chance.
And even though this game well out of reach, obviously, Schuster, that celebration indicates that may be quite important in the makeup of the Manly team in a couple of weeks' time. Good try.
There's that celebration. It just shows he can do it either side of the field as well, because he's been popping up everywhere, and that was a nice step.
It was his uncle, John Schuster, from the Newcastle Knights back in the early 90s.
Yeah, goal-kicking centre, and could play a bit of fullback and 5'8" as well, of course. Early member of that Newcastle Knights when they came in the competition. And that's the 2 points converted there. Tavita Funas taking over the goal kicking here. Pretty easy attempt for him. 52 now to 18. The West Tigers here, just a couple minutes to go. They've got the strong lead at the moment, but Manly with that try and maybe a chance to put one more on the board before we're done here at Leichhardt Oval.
Now the crowd's starting to depart here. They've seen enough. Might sneak in for a sneaky one on the way home before the sun goes down. Good time, 5 o'clock for a game in the summertime where we get the benefit of the shadows late in the game. Still nice and warm. And just a couple of minutes to go.
Zach Sadler there taking the ball back from the kickoff for Manly as they go to the right. Oh, what about that hit by Offahead Gowie? Well, he's happy to keep going all day long, and it was poor old Tua Tavake that copped the brunt of it for Manly. As they go to the right now, it's Fainu playing in his more accustomed role as a middle forward, running forward now because Jack Burt's on the field, and he'll take a scurry out of dummy half. Offahead Gowie was awake to it, as was his opposite Jake Simpkin, and they make the tackle. Close to the halfway line, they go away through Davey. Nice pass here out wide, and Dylan Smith, he's beaten one, steps inside another. Zach Sini does come back and get him with the help of Tukey Simpkins there. Manly on the attack on the last. Here they go now. Well, the kick by Jack Bird, he just had to get it in there because Zane Harris couldn't. He passed it on, and Nofaluma picks it up without issue, and he goes straight at the Manly line, and he's comfortably brought in himself, and well, he's hurt his leg.
Hopefully this is cramp. Hopefully that's just cramp.
Unfortunately, doesn't look good for Nofaluma at the moment. He's stretching it out like it is a cramp, so we'll...
Let's keep an eye on that, yeah. It's certainly in pain.
Well, we're going to have to keep it close. 2 minutes to go. He's probably one of the only first graders still on the park here as well. Zach Sini taking a hit up there for the West Tigers, coming in off his wing.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
And now Packer playing a bit of a halfback type role there onto Offahead Gowie. Now Cheekham. Can he get away the pass away? He does to Sini. But a good tackle there by Zane Harris coming across. It is the last tackle now. Only 15 seconds left on the clock. In fact, it's even a little bit less than that. And Adam Dewey says, I'll take a shot at the one. It's not a bad attempt. It wasn't. It's outside the 40.
I think it was a shot at 2.
It was a shot at 2 and unsuccessful, but nonetheless, the West Tigers, very, very commanding performance here at Leichhardt Oval. They run out 52-18 victors over Manly. And what about that? The West Tigers faithful will be very pleased with that performance.
Well done, Paul Grzatka, if I pronounce that correctly. I had it right until right at the end, but a lot to like for the West Tigers fans. You've got some hope, there's some life, there's some real things to look forward to. As for Manly, tough afternoon.